Hey guys, wherever you are, today's episode with me, Droby, is gonna be about The Last Dance once again, with episodes 3 and 4 out. Let's get the show on the road. So, episode 3, the Dennis Rodman episode. We got Scotty last week, so we gotta get Dennis. Okay, fun fact everybody, Dennis Rodman worked as a janitor at Fort Worth International Airport. Man, isn't that inspiring, to see someone just get past the hump and succeed. Dennis, after college and after, was taken in the second round at the time by the Detroit Pistons and became integral to their defensive principles. Dennis was kinda introverted and shy when he was growing up based on stories from his family. It kinda was strange for him to suddenly transform into the bad boy in the years after. The thing is, Dennis had a problem of trying to live up to people's expectations of him. That was the thing he said in his interview. He wanted to leave behind what people thought of Dennis Rodman. He wanted to be free. That freedom was necessary for him to perform at a high level in Chicago. It was different in Detroit. He was loved in Detroit and had the man that could understand him in Chuck Daly. I heard a story where he described him as God, if I'm not mistaken. However, after his troubled time in 1993, during his failed suicide attempt, which, quick side note, if any of you are going through anything, I'm not going to say that things are going to get better, but all I'm going to say is that there are people who can help you, and there are professionals who can get you what you want and what you need. Going back, after the Craig Sager, Dennis Rodman story, he became different and changed how people thought of him in the league. That, on the other hand, it never changed Dennis. On the court, he was one of the most intelligent and smartest basketball players ever. He knew that he wasn't going to be the best offensive player, the first option, the one who got the ball all the time. So he chose his spots. In an era where shooting wasn't an issue, he became the heart and soul of a team through his defense, through his really risking his life through rebounding. That's why whenever he lost his drive, and often he did, the team kind of spiraled lower than what was a standard for them. But the moment he got out and he got on the court after his episodes, he pushed himself harder. That story of when he ran on the court speeding against everyone else got to me. He knew when to work and where to put the focus. He had a certain, black and white yin yang aspect to him, where he had to have his bad side to succeed, and he had to have his good one as well. That's the reason why himself, MJ, and Scotty got along well. They were willing to get behind their issues for the sake of winning. And boy oh boy, there were issues. To say that MJ and Scotty hated Dennis was an understatement. MJ hates the 80s Detroit Pistons with a fury. I think most of the old NBA legends and players hated them hard because of their quote-unquote physical play. Physical in the terms of someone getting hurt, which wasn't welcome in any aspect of sports. Scotty had first-hand experience of Dennis shoving him in Game 7 of the 91 Eastern Conference Finals. And they came up with the Jordan rules for crying out loud in the past couple of years before that series. They were aiming to get MJ, and get him they did, and get under the skin of other players. That drive also put them over the top. It was their edge and what pushed them, to succeed in 89 and 90. Those back-to-back championships against the Los Angeles Lakers and Portland Trail Blazers cemented them as a team that would be remembered fondly forever only by Detroit fans. I think you guys should search up Isaiah Thomas Dream Team. You know, after those stories, everybody hated them. Everybody else hated them badly. Which we actually move on to the 4th episode, where Chicago had a chance the year before. In the year prior to the 1990 Eastern Conference Finals, Doug Collins was fired because of his disagreements with the big man himself, Jerry, and Tex Winter. Doug had this certain philosophy where Michael needed to get that last shot in any play. And that always makes me remember what my coaches used to tell me in varsity and camps, that the team wins games, not the player. Street ball begs to differ, but in higher competitive versions of basketball, it is a team sport. The team is the root of the game. The players are the trunks. That kind of philosophy is amazing. And that's where Phil Jackson and Tex Winter come in. Phil, which was said, was part of the 70 Knicks team, where Willis Reed came back to play Game 7 against the Los Angeles Lakers with Jerry West and Wilt Chamberlain and Elgin Baylor, or Gail Goodrich, Elgin Baylor, where Willis Reed tore his a muscle in his thigh in Game 5 and played against Wilt. He defended against Wilt and scored a couple baskets on Game 7 with a torn muscle in his thigh. Phil's playing experience and unique set of beliefs were one of the reasons that he was one of the best candidates to become the coach of a certain type of player like Michael Jordan. Being with the Knicks during Game 7 provided the truth that the impact of a single player can bring a team to reach even greater heights. A man can't always win alone in basketball. You could look at Kobe, at Michael, at LeBron, at Curry, at KD, everybody else. But he can sure as hell bring his teammates along with him to the promised land. Then we get to Tex Winter. Tex Winter, rest in peace, was the mind behind the triangle offense. The offense that got us the best in the Bulls and the best in the modern NBA. Take a look at at sets from Greg Popovich's San Antonio Spurs and the Golden State Warriors playbooks. fingerprints of the triangle are in their post-split series. In their plays, you can see in the documentary that many mid-range jumpers were made, far out mid-range jumpers, mind you. Those the ones like with a foot inside the 3-point line. I mean, you could just move your feet a little bit back, Michael, a little bit back, Scotty, a little bit back, John Paxson, a little bit back, and you get the 3-point line, and you saw, and you can see the evolution of the game that allowed teams to grow, gel, and build chemistry. The constant movement and motion allowed the players to remain engaged in the game and keep their focus during crucial moments to build a greater bond for these people. And in that vein, the winning basketball wasn't accepted by MJ initially. Ego and pride took over. However, the series lost to Detroit was the last straw for him to get over his ego. He knew that he had to make a change in his game. Then he got it. He built a certain mental toughness that the Bulls got after that series. The Bulls' mental toughness, which can be seen in books like The Chapter's Mind by Jim Afremoe and Relentless by MJ's own personal trainer, Tim Grover, were caused by their pain in losing to the Pistons repeatedly throughout the years. It's described by Ryan Holiday in his book, The Obstacle is the Way. The obstacle in the path becomes the path. The way for the Chicago Bulls was to become successful was through Detroit. Similar circumstances in the modern NBA are from LeBron and Boston, Curry and the Clippers, Kobe in Boston, Kobe in San Antonio. Things like these are what makes difficult victories all the more sweeter. Also, one small thing. I noticed that Ball MJ was here to say after the ECF 19 loss, so that was also a sign of transition. He became Bald MJ. But when we go back to the point, that's why the easy route is kind of empty when you think about it. You know, we know about what KD did. He went to a 73-9 team. That's all done. But we kind of saw how KD was unfulfilled after that. We kind of saw how KD went, hey, look, I'm gonna get another championship, but people love me in Brooklyn. Or he just wanted his team. I don't know if that was right, but I think he just wanted his team. So that's where we see where the easy route is kind of empty. And that's what goes into championship DNA. We see it in 2K. It's a badge. We see it every time the NBA Finals comes up. Don't underestimate the heart of a champion, when Rudy Tomjanovich says it. It's that intangible that's missed by many as the focal point of my team's win. People always say that no, you gotta have shooters. Oh no, they're severely outmatched. They can't win against these. They're stronger than them. But that's what championship DNA is. It's that intangible that proves the team's toughness. Just like how MJ was the one pushing everybody to their limit and everybody following suit. And that's how everyone got better, including MJ and Scotty. Scotty became the de facto point forward, pushing the game of basketball into the modern age. Those innovations proved key to winning. These championship teams know what needs to be done. They know. Let's take a look at Boston. They capitalized. Let's take a look at Los Angeles. They capitalized. And they adapted how they utilize the sport, the rules of basketball, Magic became Showtime. The Celtics had their own type of Showtime, which was different. The Bulls had the triangle. Even Kobe had the triangle. The Spurs had that sweet, sweet passing system that we could see. And the Warriors, oh boy, they built that 3-point system, which was based on motion, which revolutionized the game. Each of these teams knew what had to be done. They know how to win. Even Detroit, who got swept in the Eastern Conference Finals, knew that. They got their ass whooped in every sense of the word. That loss proved to everyone that even though they had championship DNA, they didn't have the humility to let others win. It got to them, and the Bulls clearly won that series, mentally and physically. The biggest sign, as said in the documentary, is when Scotty got knocked down by Dennis and he didn't even say a word. That's when the Bulls knew that Detroit was done and that they were going to the finals. In the 1991 NBA Finals, the Bulls were clearly the better team based on the series. But before, you wouldn't know because Magic was still the top dog in the league. Magic. And this is where Michael's full growth was shown. Even though the bad game won, they found a way to go up 3-1, which at the time was a death sentence for a team. We know that's different now today. The Lakers fought hard, but Michael grew into his own. His trust of John Paxson was one of the reasons for that Game 5 victory. They won. All of them. And quick little side note, that's where you also see the difference between Isaiah and Magic. Why Magic is loved by so many NBA players, by so many people. How he is charismatic and how basically Isaiah is hated is that he went up to Michael and he hugged him. No, he caught Michael in the crossfires of the championship. But the interview that he said that it was great losing to Michael, he had that sportsmanship, that humility, that kindness that, I know you beat me, I know you got me, but you deserve it. And I know where I am, and it's your time. That kind of humility is something that not many people have, and that's why Magic is loved. Let's not remember his stint with the Lakers, please. I really don't want to remember that. But in all honesty, the entire team won. Phil, MJ, Tex, Scotty, John, they all won. Bill Cartwright, even Jerry. The pain became worth it for them. Jerry Krause, the man everybody loathed during the last season, was seen dancing with the players during the aftermath of the Eastern Conference Finals. It was sad to see the evolution of the disdain of the people hating Jerry. The Joker's quote makes more sense in The Dark Knight. You either die a hero, or was it Morgan Freeman? I wasn't not sure. But either you die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. He was loved by everyone. Phil liked him. Phil said that. MJ liked him. Scotty liked him. I think people don't realize that the truth is there would be no Bulls without his input, without the hard decisions that he made as GM. He was the first one there, truthfully. 1983, before Michael. He wanted people to realize that. But the last few years of the Bulls dynasty proved that it was the wrong move. Had he made peace, there could have possibly been a few more championships with that MJ. Phil and Tech certainly proved that, with the rise of Shaq and Kobe with the Los Angeles Lakers in the early 2000s. 1998, the Bulls win. 1999, the Spurs win. A year difference between that, and then Phil wins his next ring. So, there's proof. Jerry Krause pushed himself into a deep pit that he was never able to get back from. That caused Chicago, and the documentary went back to 1998, to blow the season series to Utah, and proved the dysfunction of his relationship with everyone. So that kind of ends episode 4. In actuality, my final thoughts: the overall series is an excellent way to showcase the Bulls dynasty. Even with only 4 episodes up, it went beyond my expectations. I want to see more. The narrative is compelling, and it doesn't drag because of the fantastic cinematography by the director and the crew and ESPN's crew and everybody in it. It's great. It's great that they got almost everybody there to talk, except Jerry, because rest in peace. So, anyways, that's all for today, guys. Watch The Last Dance for me, will ya? It's great. Please like and subscribe if you appreciated the video, and I appreciate you. I'll see you all next time.